Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss a bit Rimuru's Elegant Escape. This video contains spoilers, so without any further ado let's continue. Chapter 261 Side Chapter, Rimuru's Elegant Escape, 05. The students left behind had various reactions. Majority of the students broke down in despair. I guess it isn't that weird that they fell into a state of panic and disorder, since the people they had been relying on, the instructors, didn't stand a chance. However, a portion of the students took the initiative and started gathering to confirm what kind of items they had at hand. Moreover, it seems the non-combat instructors also hadn't forgotten about their professional duty. The instructors' conditions have stabilized. We couldn't confirm any after effects of the fight nor any curse-type spell traces. They will probably wake up after a day's worth of rest. The doctor was a silver-haired pretty woman. She was very calm and acted without forgetting about her job. She laid down the 4 instructors defeated by Laplace and brought out her emergency aid kit. She also brought out a blanket from her S.P.A.ce storage, and was also careful about hygiene. As expected of a Tempest development of human resources, Tempest DHR from now on, instructor. By the way, although the PAS.Singer's belongings are checked when they are getting on the plane, these S.P.A.ce storages are not subject to it. And as a matter of fact, checking it would be a ha.s.sle. Or rather, the current state was such that the guards would stay silent unless someone is carrying a weapon clearly. The reason behind this is simple: a person who is actually strong, will be strong barehanded as well. I decided that it wasn't worth fussing over a weapon that much. The belonging inspection is just for face. What's actually important is spreading the information that using skills or magic inside the plane is forbidden. And for that, I made the system which monitors the usage of magic or skills inside the place perfect. The magic canceller which was being researched in the Empire has been downsized and installed in all parts of the plane. With this, no one can use magic inside the plane. Although, it is also true that for people like me, who can use magic freely without intonation, it doesn't seem to work. However, the downsized magic gemmer is proving to be a very useful monitoring device. It can detect a distortion in S.P.A.ce due to mana tremors. Not only can it detect normal magic use, it can also detect when one uses S.P.A.ce storage, or spatial travel, and it has more uses other than its original purpose. Thanks to that, it is possible to arrest someone who performs a forbidden act inside the plane instantly. I got off track there. And because of these reasons, the beautiful silver-haired doctor could carry her work-related tools with S.P.A.ce storage. It seems she also had a simple tent with her which she promptly started setting up. A few students helped and a quite big-sized tent was made within a very short amount of time. One could say that a field hospital has been set up here. And if I were to also add, by this moment, the doctor's score had crossed 20. It was clear that A.S.Sisting actions were much more effective in scoring points than fighting against monsters. That in itself goes to show that how important helping each other is here rather than acting by oneself, but who knows how many of them have realized. As far as I could tell, only the students who helped looked like they had realized that. Although the survival had just started, I was extremely interested in how the students would act depending on the situation during this 1 week. The doctor wasn't the only one who took quick action. Even the research instructor, who is a member of the research laboratory, was loyal to his duty. This one seems to be affiliated to the NNU Magic Science Investigation Academy, NNU MSIA, from now on. It seems we can't contact the outside world. There is probably a high-density magic storm covering the whole island. If the storm were to be blown away with a strong magic from an edge of the island, we might be able to make contact temporarily. He too was calm and simply explained the grave situation. I could already spot a few students break down in tears as they were hoping to make contact with the outside world now that Laplace was gone. Although I do feel pity for them, this is also a test. I need them to try their best. Putting that aside, this instructor. Was he planning on making the students realize the situation by going out of his way to state the graveness of it? Can one actually inversely become calm being in a close to panicky situation knowing that it is unlikely for help to come? While I am not certain if he aimed for it or not, although there are students who looked to be saddened, there weren't any students acting rashly. Besides, there's a way. It seems the portion of the students who were skilled thought up of a plan after listening to that instructor's explanation. In other words, we just have to find the point where the magic storm is the weakest at the edge of the island. On top of that, Everyone other than the communication team will keep trying to make it possible to make contact, is that correct? NNU's student Rosalie asked the instructor a question as the representative of the rest. Without answering, the instructor contemplated. Whether that's possible or not, I can't say for sure. Just that is one of the options we have on the table. If we are to wait in this situation where our connection with the outside world has been cut off, we only have two choices: either to abide by this greed circus saying or go against it. Just think of it like this: another option has been added to that, which is asking for help within the week. Either way, you will have to believe in your judgment. He finished saying, sounding indifferent. Rather than telling them the answer, he probably wants to entrust this to the students' free will. Quite the guts this instructor has, to be able to do that under these circumstances. Amongst all that, an Ingratia Synthesis Academy instructor spoke up. I have just finished analyzing the performance of this bracelet. It seems to be an item made by high-level magic techniques. It also has features enabling us to communicate among ourselves and view our stats. Its structure resembles that of parasitic monsters, so it will be difficult to remove. He started announcing the result of the parasite bracelet lysis. He seems to be quite the skilled instructor, as he also noticed the hidden function. This communication function in the bracelet makes it possible to communicate between 6 people in total, and he's pretty good if he was able to find that out. Well, they would know immediately once they actually use it, though. What do you mean by difficult? One of the students asked. Since this instructor is skilled enough to notice the hidden function, it isn't that unusual that he noticed this as well. He looks like a small plump old man, but I must not look down on him. It is true that looks can be deceiving. That's a good question. Once worn, this bracelet acts as a parasite to the host. In this case, we are the hosts, and what's surprising is that the bracelet part of this bracelet is only a small portion. Its real body seems to be over our whole bodies, like a net of nerves. It would be difficult to rip this off even with the Academy's latest healing devices. After all, even if you were to cut off your arm, it would probably regenerate from its roots around the body. He explained happily, for some reason. Well, he is right. You need to enter a specific release key to take it off. And its effects on the body? None. This is, in a sense, like a magical living thing. As it's taking mana from the surroundings, it does not affect the host. To the point that it also has a built-in function to inform other registered members if one of the members is in danger. As I have mentioned before, about the communication function, you can only use it among the registered people, and their conditions will be completely visible to one another. Red would mean critical condition, yellow would be danger, and blue would be under normal circumstances. Its original purpose was probably to communicate between allies. The pirate before didn't explain anything other than the number before, so maybe he didn't know about its original purpose. Or, maybe. The plump old man got excited as he kept explaining. It seems like he deciphered it to a dangerous level. However, the students didn't seem to care much about that. What's important is that if it's within 5 allies, they can communicate with each other through thought transmission. That information slowly soaked in with the students, and the place fell silent once again. By the way, I was also made to wear one. It would be weird if I were the only one not wearing it. Besides, it feels like it would be convenient having it on. It would be easy for me to remove it, but I will let it be for now. Now then, they all know what's up now. Thanks to the unexpected skillfulness of the instructors, the students regained their composure to think of a plan about what to do from now on. About an hour had passed since Laplace left. To regain their calm in this short period of time, these students are quite brilliant themselves. The instructors exchanged looks, and an elderly came forward. Now then, everyone. I am Ingratia Synthesis Academy's William Rose. I wish to overcome this grave situation with you all. With that as the introduction, he calmly started talking to the students. It was just before noon. Around time when one would get hungry. Nothing would happen if they were to lament here all day, so there was a need to do something. Having foreseen that, the eldest one here, who is also a former N.O.B. and a magic instructor of the Ingratia Synthesis Academy, started simply explaining the situation to everyone. You have probably understood with this explanation, but in short, we have 3 choices. First, we can stay right here and wait for help. Everyone knows that the Tempest Airlines is the great demon Lord Rimuru-sama's company. There's no way a person like him will forgive someone who raises a hand on it. I think it is very plausible that he will be able to find this place before that greed circus group comes back. Second, we can head for the edge of the island and request help by ourselves. This much is obvious, but this is a risky option. It's much more risky compared to the first option, and we can't even tell how likely the magic communication is to succeed unless we reach there. Even then, it's worth trying for the proud students of the academies. About the third, I can't really recommend this one. And this is because it involves listening to the greed circus and becoming their subordinate. In other words, going out of this monostorm with their ship and requesting help when they are not paying attention. There is a need to make them believe you quite a lot for this, not to mention you would need to prove your strength as well. Well, and so, after discussing with the other instructors, we have concluded that these three have a high chance of working. And so I would like to hear your opinion on it. Just as I had wanted it to turn out. To be honest, there isn't anything more said than not predict.I.P.8ing in the game even after I went through the trouble of setting up the numbers. There was a concern of what will happen if the students are apathetic and just wait for help. In that case, I was also seriously considering having them forcibly work here for a whole year. Of course, they would not be making a base. It's an unexplored island, so I was thinking of making some health resorts in ams.e.m.e.nt facilities and make it into one large leisure island. Well, it might be leisure to us, but it will probably be horror for the general public. I was thinking of getting a new training insti.tuition as I was getting kinda bored of investing my wealth and time in the labyrinth. Although there might be a need to get the semi-demon lord seeds and the lesser demon lord seeds agreement for that. Hedro Griffin living in the decaying swamp in the east side. Sand Scorpion living in the hot desert in the west side. Poison Tiger living in the poison jungle in the south side. Ice Naga living in the glacier bay in the north side. And Rock Elephant, reigning in the middle. I have left the negotiations to Laplace such that he shows no disrespect to the absolute rulers of the island. Although I am concerned, there's no worry in terms of strength. Although the lesser demon lord seed is as strong as the former demon lords, it is just living by instinct. It doesn't have the intelligence to command its subordinates. And exactly because of that, if someone even stronger than it went for the negotiation, there will be no war. It would be good if we could make this a lasting relationship. Well, if they were absolutely against it, then there's no choice and we would have had to search for another island. I got off point there. The students gathered in groups consisting of the ones who know each other and started discussing. They were thinking of what they should do, what has the highest chance of working. Amongst all that, ludicrous. Sage William has also grown senile, hasn't he? To expect for the great demon lord to help. Such an embarrassing act would be too disrespectful towards the brave hero Masayuki-sama who saved my brother Elric. In addition to that, it is also an insult to us, the royal family. It isn't something I can overlook as the rightful successor of the Ingratia kingdom. As the second prince, I will take a different path than you rest. That arrogant N.O. Kid Julius said with an anger-filled face. Now that I think about it, Ingratia Kingdom fell into a national crisis, didn't it? Amidst the Great War, the people from the royal family and a part of the knights had rampaged. Although they were people who hated me, they were own family to Julius. I guess it can't be helped if he doesn't see me in a good light. At that time, while solving the problem, Masayuki saved the Prince Elric from getting executed, so it seems his position in Ingratia has been fixed. Although I do think it was quite firm to begin with, he is probably treated as a G.O.D there now. I remember him crying and accusing me of leading all this when he came last time. I just ignored it, thinking, say your complaints to Seal-san. Oh, it seems like Julius Group had started moving while I was remembering Masayuki. I will welcome those who want to move forward under me. I swear by my name, Julius, that I will guarantee your safety. A cool phrase from a pretty face. And with just that, a few of the female students started to get up and follow him. What's surprising is that there were also some instructors who were going to follow him. That Ugula's Lord or something instructor of course followed him, but there was also another instructor from the Ingratia Synthesis Academy who followed him. From the looks, this guy seems to be a battle type, but he didn't challenge Laplace before. It seems he is one of the rotten instructors like Ugula's. Or he might have a very cautious personality. Wait. Don't do something selfish even in this situation. We need to cooperate with each other and leave the island, right? The red demi-human is like a ma.s of sense of justice. I also think he is right. Rather, I am wondering why that William instructor brought up 3 options in this situation. It is true that he probably wanted the students to think for themselves, but it will just aimlessly make them panic in this situation. Even though the normal practice here would be for the instructors to come up with a plan and make the students form a group to act. Although I did predict the 3rd option, I still can't make sense why an instructor would suggest it. This William instructor looks to be strict and wise, so he might have something planned, but the worst case scenario would be this: the students fall into panic and start acting separately. If this were to happen, I would have no choice but to suspend the test. That is because I need to ensure the students' safety. On top of that, I planned on revealing my ident.I.T to discipline them forcibly. In that scenario, as they will know that I am here, the escape play will also come to an end. I had to lead the situation properly so that it doesn't come down to that. Laplace, Tia, and me. While protecting the students from the shadows, we will continue the survival. As such, it was barely within our permissible range for them to move in 3 groups. It goes without saying that it would be ideal for them to move in unison. But that is from the management perspective. For the students in an extreme situation, the most important thing is to stay alive. When I consider that point as well, I can't arbitrarily decide that Julius' action is wrong. After all, fastest way to form a group in this extreme situation for them is in a sense having the students under them. It is certain that by abiding by the rules Julius decides, the order and chain of command will be upheld. What a dumb dog. I am not just Julius in this situation. I am the 2nd prince of the Ingratia kingdom, in a position to lead others. Isn't it obvious that there's a need for a leader so that the students don't just follow your stupid suggestions? It seems he did have some resolution when making that statement earlier. In other words, he isn't just a simple arrogant and royalty. However, if we were to decide on a leader, we should have respect everyone's opinion. Now, wait, Karma. There is a point to what Julius is saying. This isn't the time to be leisurely hearing everyone's opinion. The one who stopped the red hair Karma was Magnus, who was flirting with me. Magnus, However, we can't just accept his judgment. Like I said, just wait a bit. We haven't even had food yet, you know? We have to prepare food and water by ourselves for a whole week. Although the people who can use s.p.a.ce storage can secretly have their preserved food. Everyone isn't that thoroughly prepared, right? We were going to a presentation and didn't prepare anything for extracurricular activities. That is dash. First, let's see how he manages everyone before deciding, alright? It is true that we need a leader after all. That is, right. I understand. Surprisingly, Magnus was able to splendidly persuade Karma. It seems he isn't just flirty, his head works too. Besides, I didn't fail to hear Magnus muttering, for now, at least, like everyone else. He looks like someone who is kind to everyone at first, but he might have a different face inside. I braced myself, thinking it would be better to not let my guard down. As Karma and Magnus persuaded others, the other students didn't complain either. Despite what they might be thinking inside, they had agreed to this setting for now. It was fortunate that there weren't any idiots here who would do as they please even in this situation. As all the skilled people of each academy agreed to this, all the students were under Julius for now. And like this, communal living for a group with Julius as its leader had begun. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.